What's up, guys? It's Sunday afternoon. Hope you've had an awesome weekend. I am currently just on the side of a wall about to do some rock climbing in a beautiful on a beautiful wall that's in this afternoon shade on a gorgeous day in the mountains. So I just thought I'd show you guys really quick what I'm up to and how I solo rope. This is by no means meant to be any kind of like tutorial. Don't ever climb, it's dangerous. Don't ever listen to anything I say. But just for informational purposes only, you can see how I'm doing things and how I am climbing this today. So I'm solo roping, and what that means is I'm gonna rappel down to the bottom, and then I'm gonna attach a couple of devices that allow me to climb solo where it'll catch me automatically. So here's how I'm set up right now. I have a harness on, of course, and I am on a rappel that's called an extended rappel. So if you see that green and black piece there, that's called a personal tether, and I have that personal tether through the climbing loops right here, and then I have the Repel device actually attached midway on that, and this actually doubles back, so it's essentially redundant. And what this allows for, and the reason for this extended Repel where it extends, because normally if you've ever rappelled before, the Repel device would be back here at your belay loop, right? And what this extended rappel does is a couple of things. One, which is really important, it lets me actually verify and test the rappel before I actually put my life on the line. The way that I go through the setup process with that personal tether, see how it has these two pieces, right? Where it's kind of here and then also here. This piece initially is actually anchored in until I verify that the rappel is safe, and then I bring that off and it actually acts as a backup. So extended rappels are awesome for that reason. The other reason they're awesome is, as you can see, I have no hands right now. And the reason for that is I have this device down here, which is called an auto block. So what this does is it's basically a piece of essentially webbing, a piece of tight, small, high temperature webbing that wraps around the rope. And what it does is by wrapping it around a certain number of times, kind of the right number of times for the material, that material will grab because of the friction between the two. So this is actually acting as a backup. So normally on a rappel, just a basic rappel with an ATC rappel device like that, you have to have your hands on at all times. Obviously that's still a good idea, and I still do that the majority of the time. However, with an auto block, it's there as a backup, and it's a nice, smooth, safe-ish way, but climbing is dangerous and you should never do it, way to rappel with an extended rappel. So basically I have, the other change when I'm solo roping like this is I have a big ass knot in the top of the rope. So right there, I have a quad anchor, which is basically just kind of a redundant anchor that attaches to the bolts. And then I have the rope attached to that. In the middle of the rope, I have a big ass knot tied. That's not the technical term, but that's what I call it. And what a lot of people call it actually is a big ass knot. So I have a big ass knot tied. What that does is it creates two fixed strands. So each half of the rope coming down is fixed, unlike in a normal rappel, in a lot of situations at least, in a lot of normal climbing situations, you're not gonna have a knot in the middle of the rope like that. The rope would be free sliding through the anchor so that when you're done rappelling, you can pull the rope down, right? So, but what this does, I'll show you at the bottom in just a second. This allows me to attach a couple of different devices that both act independently to slide up but not down the rope, so that it catches me and I don't fall. So I'm gonna rappel down and then we'll see you guys at the bottom, and I'll show you real quick my the bottom setup of how I do this so I can actually do some climbing instead of just rappelling. So we'll see you at the bottom. What's up? Okay, I'm at the bottom. Safe rappel, well, successful rappel. I made it to the bottom safely, so there you go. Rappels tend to either go well or occasionally go very not well for people, which is unfortunate, but safety double checks and safe rappel. So here we are, and this is the setup I have going. So I've taken off all that rappel setup and I have on this chest harness, as you can see. And as I mentioned, I have two fixed lines. Each one of these I could hang on, right? Because they're tied in that knot at the top. So on each one of these lines, I have a device that slides up but does not slide down. And I have two different kinds of devices because they have ways that they can fail, ways that they can kind of get jammed and fail to catch. or open, things like that. So that's why there's two of them, and that's why they're different devices, so they fail for different reasons, and thus hopefully they don't both fail or get jammed open, etc. At the same time. So this one on my chest harness is called a Petzl Crawl. It's a chest ascender. It's made to go at chest level, and it slides up but doesn't slide down. It has these little teeth that you can kind of maybe not see in there, but it has kind of these little teeth. So with this one grabs instantly, but you wouldn't want to take a big fall on it because it has those teeth, and if you put too much pressure on it, the teeth can actually shear through the rope, which is one of the failure points. But it does grab right away, which is really nice. The other device that I have is a different kind of device with slightly different properties. This one is at the belay loop level is where it's attached, and this is called a Petzl micro sender, and it's the same basic idea. It basically has a mechanism right here that as it gets pulled down, it squeezes and pinches against the rope and catches it. So thus it'll go up but not down. But it doesn't have the sharp teeth. It doesn't catch quite as instantly, although still pretty quick, because it doesn't have the teeth. But because it doesn't have the teeth, you could take potentially a little higher force fall, which I don't take in this type of climbing anyway. But you could take potentially a higher force fall and not shear through the rope. So different failure points. Basically, these two devices slide up the rope, but not down. So I have my climbing shoes on. The other piece of this is I need to have a little bit of weight at the bottom of the rope so that it kind of holds the rope in place so the devices will slide up, right? So I tie my boots because they're available, and I had to take them off. I usually rappel down with boots on, tie my boots as that little bit of counterweight because I can pull them up if I need to. They're just enough weight to kind of hold the rope in place, and I have to have them here anyway. So I've got climbing shoes on, I have chalk, I have my devices attached, I have fixed lines, and off we go.